Hi.
Aloha, everyone.
Aloha, everybody.
So you guys are early, so I'll just play a little music before we get started. So
Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome.
The music stopped.
Huh?
The music stopped.
Yeah.
Nice music though.
So,
Carrie.
Latasha, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Did I tell you our internet has been spotty over the past couple of days?
Oh, hold on. What were you saying?
Our internet has been super spotty over here over the last couple of days.
I know it's been, well, knock on, I gotta find some wood. But isolated pockets in Maui too. Because I was actually just off the phone with, or not phone, off of a Zoom with one of our agents, and her internet was like really spotty.
So I am catching up on 2 days worth of like work today.
Oh my goodness.
So anybody watching, I think this is recording. If I owe you a compliance class recording and notes from Tuesday, they're coming.
So we have a few minutes. How's everybody doing? Thanks for joining us. We're just patiently waiting. We've got about 3 minutes. Nice to see all your faces.
Hey, Jeannie was in class
Jeannie.
recently.
Hello.
What'd you say, Carrie? I missed that.
No, Jeannie's a familiar face. She was in class recently.
Yes, she was.
Awesome. Ben, sir, how was Vegas?
Awesome. I lost money. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Good, good. Almost June. The year is flying by.
I know.
Zoom. It's zooming by.
Does anybody have fun plans for the weekend?
I actually
Anyone?
do.
What are you doing, Miss Jeannie?
Let's see, tomorrow night, my son Luke and I are gonna go to the Maui Empanada Lady. They have a lot of good jazz
Ooh.
shows there right now.
Nice.
So really, yeah, it's like, yeah, and you know, good empanadas. Ooh, and they have good ceviche. So that'll be really fun. And then one of my
Nice.
Hanai kids is flying in tomorrow with his
Cool.
bride. And so, yeah, so Saturday, I'll be spending the day with them. It's gonna be awesome weekend.
Good for you. Anyone else have some special plans? Even if you don't have plans and you're just hanging out the home, sometimes that's always good.
Do that.
So I'll share this. So we are renting tomorrow. We're going to rent a slingshot. So that's going to be my ride for tomorrow. And so I recently texted my husband. I said, "Oh, I'm so excited tomorrow because I'm literally going to drive you crazy because I'm going to be the driver." So, so hopefully all works well. Okay, so it is 1:30 on the dot. So we're going to go ahead and get started to be respectful of your time today. So this class will actually be recorded. So you'll be able to look at this for future reference. And so again, thank you for joining us. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Latasha Baldwin, and I am the Maui tech trainer. So I am Carrie's counterpart. And for those of you that know Carrie, he'll definitely introduce himself. But what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the personally branded zine in terms of the magazine. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cover the first part of it. Carrie's going to take over the second part. And so the highlights or the overview is that we are going to talk about tips. We're going to show you where it is, and we're going to talk about how to create it. So those are the fundamental things. Again, we're going to go over tips, where to find it, and how to edit, create it. So we're actually we were going to do tips at the latter portion of it, but we're actually going to invert it and do tips at the beginning. So one of the things that I want to question or ask all of you is this, or before I say that, Carrie, is there anything you want to say before I get going?
No, let's jump into all the goodness.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay. So
Goodness jumping.
Yes.
Goodness jumping.
Everybody needs that. So one question I do want to ask you, and either visualize this, write it down, but it's a very important question, or at least I think so. You can correct me. What is your main communication need within your business? So you don't have to tell me now, but write it down and think about it as we're talking about this for the next 30 minutes. Again, the question is, what is your main communication need within your business? So I'm going to break this question down, and then we're going to talk about tips. So within whatever your main communication need is, think about that. A sub question of that would be this: what is your current focus in terms of your business? So I'm taking this question and I'm breaking it down into chunks. So then next is, what is your current focus? Your focus could be farming. Your focus could be getting more listings. Your focus could be buyers, whatever it is within your real estate business. What is your focus, your current focus? How can you use this tool to meet or exceed that goal? So whatever your communication goal is, can you take this zine and meet that goal? Underneath that, what are the materials, the things that you need to do this? So let's break this down even further. So if you are farming a community and or a complex or a unit or whatever it may be, what are the things that you need? You would need, all of the stats on that farming neighborhood. You would need, recent solds, in terms of breakdowns, 2, 3, whatever they are. You will also need your logo, and that's going to be evident in a few minutes. Any pictures or images that you need to reinforce that. So gather all of those materials. And then the final component to that is, how will you share with your target audience? So once you know your communication goal, you know that this zine is going to accomplish that. Who are you sending this to? The reason why I ask that is because you want to make sure before you get going and creating it, you want to make sure that, am I sending this electronically? Am I printing this out? Whatever it is you're going to, however you're going to share it, think about those things first so that as you're doing it, you're conscious of, is this actually going to meet the goal? So let me stop talking. Does that part make sense? Okay,
Just
so
a quick,
it's going to be clear.
shout out. Just a quick
yes,
shout
okay.
out. A zine is what the young hip kids call a digital magazine. Just to make sure we're all on the same page here.
Thanks for being my translator.
We look that old. Please, please.
No, it's for me. I've got
didn't
a
say
streak
it.
of gray all
I
in my
didn't say
hair.
it.
Uh-huh. Yes,
Okay.
son.
So let's get into this. I'm going to share my screen. And can you all see my madness? So let me pull up my. Okay. So tips. For those of you that may not be familiar with Command, what we did, or what I just did, is I hovered to fan out the applets, in case you're unfamiliar with that. And I do that by, you'll see my little microphone pop up in the red portion of the KW, you fan it out. Right now we want to go into designs. So again, we're talking about tips now. Now that we have our overarching question, for those of you that just joined us, the overarching question was this: what is your main communication need within your business? That's our overarching question that we're thinking to ourselves about what the answer is. So tips, before I tell you where it is and turn it over to Carrie, I am going to, just for now, just go into print. So I'm in designs. For those of you that I lost, I'm in designs, went to print. For those of you that know me, I'm going to say Teal is your friend. We're going to click the plus sign. And we're just going to get past this right now because there's something that I want to show you in terms of a tip. So now that it's redirecting us to WeBrand, and WeBrand is our platform or our house, KWRI, where we house all of the documents. So then branded assets. Remember, one of those sub questions was materials that you need. Remember we said that, or I said that? Mm-hmm. So if you haven't done this, when you're in rebrand, you want to go into brand assets, and you want to make sure that you have whatever logos you need to add. You click on logos, you go to the right and click upload. If there's a smart text, if you don't have all this information, please make sure it's in there. You click on new field. You make sure your first name, middle name, last name, all of that good stuff is in there. Any images that you're going to need, you can preload them by hitting the upload, adding all the images, any elements and our videos. Preload all of that stuff ahead of time. The reason why this is the tip is because once you preload everything you're going to need, it makes it easier for you to plug and play and or create it within command. So you're not constantly going back and forth. And then once it's in there, you can use this for any type of design that you're doing in command. So now I'm going to go to templates. So I'm going to show you where it is, and then Carrie, I forgot to make you co-host. I just made you co-host. So where to find it? We were in designs. We clicked on print. We hit the plus sign. We hit print OK. So now we're in the print side, and how you locate the zine is it would be under lead generation. And the last option, personally branded zine. There are two formats or structures. You can either choose this one or you can choose this one. It does not matter. So I'm going to select this one. So the other tip that I will give you is this. Do not start editing anything until you first go in and load all of the pages. So you'll see when I scroll down on the left, you see my microphone. I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling. So then what you first want to do is you want to hit the plus sign where it says add an image. And the first thing you want to do is you want to go through here and add all of them. That does not mean you need to use all of them. That means you just need to add them first, and then you can go in and delete it later. I have a lot of agents that reach out to me and say, I've been editing this and it doesn't work. You have to add them first and then edit. So I'm just going in very quickly, adding all of them in. And then there's another tip that I'll give you, and then I'll turn it over to Carrie, and he can jump in at any point in time if he wants to say anything else. Oops.
And when we go into the breakdown of it, if you guys noticed, have you guys noticed like the color scheme is kind of changing as she's adding these different pages? There's a reason for that, and we'll talk through that.
We're
Mine's
almost
teal.
done. Okay, so then now we have all of our pages, 16 out of 16. So I'm going to hit this up arrow. You see my little microphone headset. I'm going to hit the up arrow. And you're going to always notice that you're going to have this wheel of the future that never stops spinning. So then you just want to select the down arrow and hit your trash. Maybe. There we go. Yes, we want to delete it. So then that's how you get rid of it. Then from here, you want to save it. So you title it this, whatever you want to title it. And I'll say one more thing, and then it's the Carrie Show. So I'm just going to say test 5 or 4. So then you save it. Again, I do want to stress a couple of things. Number one, this does not mean that you're going to use every piece. What that means is you have the options now to go through and figure out, based on what your main communication goal is, what you want to use this for. You can use this for a listing presentation. You could list it for a buyer presentation. You could use it for a monthly magazine. If you are focusing on farming, you could do it specifically for farming. If you want to do it for whatever the purpose is, you can do it. So, Mr. Carey, do you want me to stop sharing because of your shaky internet, or what would you prefer? I can be your Vanna. You can direct me.
No, yeah, you know what? I don't mind. Why don't we do one thing first and maybe we'll toggle back the screen share. But I wanted to make sure because we did have a question. Ben was asking, where do we find that again? And since I haven't loaded up, but I would love to go back to your loaded pages. And so let me bounce out and share the initial part of it. So when you go into designs, Ben, and then we've already jumped in there, right? But your designs app then takes you into, this here. There's a couple of places you can find it. Latasha said lead generation, personally branded magazine, and then also when the new one comes out every quarter, you'll find it under new designs as well, right on the bottom. And why I pointed out Zine is a digital magazine, I got all excited. I thought, okay, it's digital. I clicked on designs and I went to social, and I'm sitting there for the first part of the first quarter going, where is this digital magazine? I don't see anything. In designs, you go to print and add and learn something new every day. So when you're in this personally branded section and the branded zine, you'll see there's like promotional things that you can send out too, right? So when you hover Q1 magazine, Q2 magazine, like Latasha said, these are personally branded things to you that goes out every quarter. So when I was pointing out the color scheme change, you'll notice that there's 3 articles in here. So like Latasha said, when she mentioned you can use it on a monthly basis. You can use it on a one-off quarterly because maybe you do other additional marketing and newsletter information or different things that are dripping out to your clients, and you just want to use this on a quarterly basis, which is totally fine, right? And at the same time, it's built for you to kind of follow the color schemes. And here's that first article, right? Quarter in review. That first article is going to be a certain color. Then you'll notice at a certain point, it'll start to change into that second article, and then it'll change into the third article. And so you have everything you need. And the paralyzing aspect is, okay, how do I want to use this best? And people just wait and they sit and I got to figure this out. Try it. Send it out on a quarterly basis. Try and see how you want to break it up and just do it on that monthly, right? So it's not meant to paralyze. It's to give you options and let you kind of really just run wild and use it how you see fit. That being said, we also have a business partner, because some of you out there are going to see this and kind of go, okay, that's a lot of clicking, that's a lot of editing. I don't either have the time or the patience or just the sanity to do it all myself. So we do have a wonderful business partner in Airs. And I don't know if you folks know Hannah Ordonez, but she runs Airs. And they provide a monthly newsletter. All the content is provided and customized for you, that if you did an export of your contacts from your database and sent it to Airs, they would then send your clients a customized monthly newsletter on your behalf coming from you. But back to what we're looking at in here. So as you scroll through the content, and Latasha was showing you the different pages and how you can edit the pages. There we go. So it's meant for each of you to be able to access this template and kind of come in here, change and edit just from a click of a mouse and a button and content. And you can write whatever you want, right?
You can fucking see that.
Latasha has a great team name in her tech wizards on her command, and I didn't want to, like, I don't know if I'm cool enough to be on that team. I was going to put it there, but
You're always on the team.
Make it what you want to make it. And then when it comes down to editing, right? That's not me. You just click on the image and it'll pull up your brand. So Latasha's talking about tips on brand assets. If you have it in place, you have quicker access to it as you want to build this thing. And so then you're saving the time spent. So as you can see, I just clicked on the destination of where I wanted it to go. And then I clicked on it, and you can add an image, or you can replace the image and just have it swap it out. And then it's just a matter of doing a little bit of editing, maybe doing a little Photoshop and changing your image a little bit. But really, it's just built here for you to then go in. And so that's right. This is going to be the hardest and most challenging thing for people is like, it takes a little bit of time to kind of go in and who's Jocelyn McKay and who's John Jones. And so all you do is you double click in there to get in. And really, I don't have anybody else on my team right now. So we're just going to go in here and we can actually even, my screen is too bright. We'll just remove that line. Dear, and as I edit, if anybody has any questions or concerns about having to click in and do, please ask on
Can I
YouTube.
jump in, Carrie, really quick?
Yeah.
Sorry. So for those of
Typewriter.
you, yeah, I was gonna say, for those of you, that, especially when you get to the bigger text part,
Yeah.
if you can click on the typewriter, Carrie, and show them how they can edit that.
Much easier.
Yeah. Hang on, see, so it's tech trainer in my title, but I'm so not techie.
So
Which one
click
my
on the
classes
box.
also.
Yeah, click on the box where the text actually is underneath where you said Aloha Family.
Yeah.
And so click on that.
I can't even see anything.
Will it let you do it or no? Okay,
Sure.
so
No,
then,
because my screen is so
just go ahead
bright.
and click on that one and then go up to the top next to your font size
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 boxes to where it says 12, the font size.
Far left. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Click on the
There it
typewriter.
is.
There you go.
You learn something new every
And then click
day.
on that so they can see it. So it'll pop up. So then that
Nice.
way you can, have a bigger box because some people are like, I don't know where my cursor is.
Oh my goodness, that was so difficult. This is life-changing.
I love it.
Watching
I changed somebody's life today.
me struggle. Yes, save changes. That's awesome. They were you're changing lives. Jeannie, I need to come to Maui. I owe you a pulled pork sandwich, right?
Oh.
not just Lee, but then I'll make you a pulled pork sandwich. Awesome. So all
Share
you're
one.
doing, all you're doing at this point is making sure, does the content here match me? Does it match what I want to say, right? And again, a lot of it is already pre-built, and you're just kind of going through each page and making sure the content is what you want to deliver. Does that make sense?
One other thing I do want to point out for everyone is keep in mind, because KWRI is updating this on a monthly basis, the content pretty much is there. You just kind of have to read through everything or hire someone to do that or work with AIRS, and we'll give you all the contact information. So a lot of this stuff is, pre-built stuff that you shouldn't have to change a whole lot of things. You just want to make sure, obviously, for this, KWRI centers most of their vernacular or their wording from the lower 50s, if you will. So mainland communication. So you just want to make sure that, the stats and the things that are related to, or excuse me, the stats that are there are related specifically to our islands.
And you can see the text, the
And
place
then if
headers
not,
are here.
I want to do one more thing.
Yeah, here. Let
So
me
Carrie, would you be able to show them how they can print it? And then, or I can jump in, it doesn't matter. And then also show them how they can share it electronically.
Yeah. So, well, actually, I can do the electronic share is great.
Okay.
And so once you have what you want and the articles that you want, yeah, one more page. Because when it's talking about home decor, I have a friend who does decorating. You might want to make a space to give her a plug, right?
That might be me for those of you that don't know.
June Digital. Right. So make sure you change that name on your file, right? And so it's always between always saving or finishing what you want to do. Make sure you change your file names, because otherwise it's hard to find. But really, I mean, you can download to your computer but in clicking share, you can share it to Facebook. I don't necessarily Twitter,
So
but
could I jump in one
Yes,
thing?
you
So the
can.
thing that I do want to say to you, for those of you that are wanting to share this, make sure that you use the link and not do directly to Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. And the reason is because unfortunately, Command has a filter. And so it's going to do a pop-up filter and it may off skew some of the things that you're trying to share. So if you want to share this, click on that image where it says design image, you see that? So then you can copy and paste that. So if you could do me a favor, Carrie, copy that. Yep. Woohoo, we're on the same page mentally. I don't even have to say complete my sentence. That's awesome.
And then it'll pop up over here. And there are killer apps out there, I've heard, that do a whooshing sound or a turn paging sound every time you read a digital magazine. Yeah, so those are super cool. Make sure to download that. And I'm going to stop sharing so Latasha can talk about printing. If you can't find the app, give me a call. And every time your client clicks the page, I go, shh.
So one other thing, one other electronic share where it says this design here, I'm going to flip over to the project. So then the project, I'm going to copy that and paste it. So then when you do the project version, it'll give you a basic arrow that you can just flip through. So that, you know, again, going back to how you want to present this. So that's the electronic. If you click on the project side, not the file size, it'll automatically give you these arrows that you don't have to pay for. But if you want any swooshing sounds, you can either call Carrie, he'll do it for you personally, or you can just find an app and do that. So I've been told. But no, you can definitely find an app. I've seen a couple apps. So if you want to reach out to me, I can definitely help you for that. So going back to the download. So then here, I'm going to click out of here. Once we're in this screen and we want to print, so we just click on download. The key thing I want to stress here is make sure that you have the PDF version. If you keep it at JPEG, it's only going to save that first page and then you're going to call myself or Carrie and say it doesn't work. So make sure that you save it to PDF. You can do standard web quality. And let me move my Zoom screen. And then just hit simply start download. It'll pop out shortly at the bottom. So it'll tell you that it's downloading and when the loadings are complete. So then it'll say your name and then PDF on it. So then you want to hit open and then that's the PDF version. So then you can either print this and save it or print it here, or you can download it to save it to whatever file. And then however you edit it, whatever you did, that's the PDF version that you can send. You can print it out on paper, or if you even want to email this, you can email that. So there's a couple ways that you can share it. Question? Oh.
This is awesome.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Comments, questions, feedback. Does anyone have a use that they can think of? Remember the first question, what is your main communication need in your business? Who can share with us what they see as their main communication need and how this will help? Don't all speak at once because it gets overwhelming.
My main communication need is to get my face or my name in front of my prospective clients. That's everybody's goal, of course. And so I have several uses for this. I can incorporate it into my newsletter. So that's one less thing I need to do every quarter. And Honestly, I think I snitch pages too and make little postcards. So just for content, for me to be able to use something like this is awesome.
Can I piggyback on what Jeannie just said? So she could even take that one step further. So if you are on social media, you can take this. Remember when Carrie was talking, there were essentially 3 different articles within here. You can take a snippet of one of those articles. And then if you're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you are, you can basically pull out that content and create a week's worth of content on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on your whatever. So for those people that are wondering, I don't know what to put in my content or my social media. If you're doing this, you can parse it out and still share it in general, but then treat it as a teaser on your social media. And so you're reinforcing that concept. In this case for Jeannie, she's going to be top of mind because she not only sent the publication out, but she's feeding them little snippets, over a week or 2 weeks of what the content actually was. So she's repeating that top of mind. When I think of real estate, I think of Jeannie. When I think of real estate, I think of Mark or whoever.
Yeah, lots of great content.
Super great content.
Mark had a great question in the chat. I'm not sure if we caught
Oh,
that.
I'm
Is there
sorry.
a service that will print that for us?
Yes. So there's a couple of things. Let me go back. Did I go to this one? Oops, sorry. Hold on. I got too many things open. Where am I? There we go. Sorry, I got too many things open. So you can, here's the thing about this order print option. You can do that, but the caveat that I want to say, Mark, is that keep in mind that a lot of things that are in KWRI are specifically for mainland. And so the turnaround time is going to be greater for us on the islands. But I would say, especially on Oahu, I would say, like your Office Depot, your Office Max would be a good option, or FedEx. For Maui peeps, again, Office Depot, but I would caution Office Depot for Maui peeps, only because sometimes for my own business, I printed out stuff and I've had problems where they said, oh, we need to outsource this to the mainland because of blah, blah, blah. So I've always had better, me personally, I've had better reaction or results, I should say, going with FedEx. But, it's a personal choice for me, but I tend to not have to that phase or phrase, we got to ship this out to the mainland because we can't do it. So, it just, you can go any place locally. So any mom and pop printer, you can take that PDF, email it to them and they can print it.
Okay, yeah, I've used both FedEx and Office Max and had pretty good success, but there's nobody that will actually print and mail for us. We just give them a list.
No,
Okay.
the only thing that if you do the order here, it's basically going to print it and send it back to you. It's not going to send it out. Yes, but good question.
If I can jump in here, I use Express Copy.
Oh,
I send
yes.
them whatever it is, and I send them my spreadsheet, and they print it out and they mail it.
Thanks, Jeannie.
Mhm.
Awesome. And I do want to say that we appreciate you guys' time on this training. Sometimes the recording will be made available right for you guys out there, though sometimes you awake in the middle of the night. Gosh, that was so cool. I want to see how to do that. Scott Leroy Marketing is a free tool for both of our market centers to use, right? And so they're live 7 to 8 a.m. every morning, streaming Monday through Friday. Oahu, we have it right in your Google Calendar, right? Click on it, it'll take you to the class. The classes repeat on this content, and they have an amazing YouTube channel where all those things are recorded. And so you can find out right here how to create a personally branded magazine and follow along and pause it and stop and work through it as with them at any time that you want.
May I ask the contact information for heirs?
Yeah,
So
you
it's
know what?
Hannah, do you have, you
I
have it handy?
do.
Okay,
I do. I will pop that in the chat.
thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
But it's Miss Hannah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be a great content going out monthly, and then that way too, then you have the zine that you can send out on a quarterly, because that monthly email would or newsletter would already be going out through heirs. Connect with Hannah; she would love to help you guys out. I appreciate getting the help and keep this Oahu and Maui family going. Just a little soft sell. We're still talking through compliance every Tuesday, and so if you guys know another agent, a TC, or an admin that they just need some help in the system, we take a deep dive, radical transparency. Looking at some common errors, best practices, and stuff. That's every Tuesday. We'd love for you guys to join us or have people join us for that.
Thank you. Any other questions before we sign off? No?
Thanks
Okay,
very
we'll get the
much.
recording to you. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Fabulous Memorial weekend.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.